What they're planning to do is limit your speed in regional areas across highways to 40k an hour in areas where you can currently travel at 110k an hour.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Travis, you've been on a roll this week putting these stories to me, and I thought they're so good we're going to go with them.
I've finally got the foundations for the granny flat down, so I've got a bit more time this week.
He's got some time, and he's firing on all cylinders.
Gil Bates also was saying about crabbing in Mandurah as well.
Oh,
so many crabs, like you struggle to stand on them. So
yeah, but it used to be like that. Yeah.
But
What's interesting about the story you said it to us is that it's been leaked that, and this was reported in the West Australian, the newspaper of the WA, that what they're planning to do is limit your speed in regional areas across highways to 40k an hour in areas where you can currently travel at 110k an hour.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I can't see that being unsafe.
Bit of disclaimer, they are talking about the mining trucks on this one.
Okay.
So, but the WA government has a habit of going, oh, this worked for this portion of society. Let's just make it for everyone.
All right. Well, let's go through the details. Okay. So who do they want to slow down to 40k's an hour?
So the mining trucks.
Okay.
So we're talking like the heavy haulers, like the semi-trailers and all that sort of stuff. The problem is,
So this is not mum and dads who want to go on their vacation.
Well, the thing is that you don't slow them down as well.
No,
because there's trucks going backwards and forwards constantly. Some of those roads are that windy. There's no overtaking lanes. My guess is they want to stop not only fatalities to crashing, like head-on crashes and all that sort of stuff, but also animal collisions as well. And they're doing it as part of the nature preservation of nature. Okay. So they want to stop, killing kangaroos, which are, there's that many of them. They're a pest anyway. You actually get farmers pay people to come out and cull the stocks anyway. So it's, can you imagine trying to do a trip, let's say Geraldton. So the biggest city from north of Perth is by car. Now, I've been in a car once that's actually done in 2.5 hours, but generally it's a 4.5 hour trip.
Okay.
The scariest trip of my life. They were Germans. They didn't understand that Australia had speed limits, unlike the Autobahn. So we made it we left at 6 o'clock in the morning. We made it to Perth and back before the football at 1 o'clock. Scariest trip of my life.
I'm impressed.
So anyway, so it's normally a 4.5 hour drive.
Okay.
Now, if you do that at 40k's an hour, that's over a 10-hour drive if you don't stop.
Now, I'm going to make this argument. If they're talking about the safety for the kangaroos, I love kangaroos, right? Okay.
No, they're a pest. There's too many of them.
That's just, that is just an embarrassing excuse, right? They are a pest. So it negates the entire argument. But the other thing, from as far as the road safety, from human beings' point of view, how many people, right, get stuck behind a truck or this or that, whatever, traveling really slowly, and they make really poor judgment calls about overtaking them, right? Because they're traveling so slowly. So, okay, I'm saying without doubt, if you make the vehicles travel slowly, you will actually up the fatalities. You really will, because people will be impatient and they do foolish things.
If you really want to stop fatalities on country roads, I personally feel that every national route, so National Route 1 all the way around Australia, and the major routes, so Brand Highway, the one Albany Highway, or going all the way through down to obviously Albany, those ones should be a default double lane both ways. It should be a dual carriage both ways. Truck 6 on one side, cars on the other side.
Where would you find the money for that? Oh, hang on.
Hang on.
Yes,
the cost. The estimated cost to the mining industry alone will be in the billions.
Okay.
If they do this. So from what I've been told, it's already been scrapped. There's been that much of a kick up and blowback from the mining companies that they've already said no. But the thing you've got to remember is the government's got a history of going, oh, you don't want it? No worries. We won't do it. And then 6 months later, they're doing it anyway.
Well, also they'll ask for federal funding because it's considered to be a capital works on a federal sort of stage, I would think.
State roads, they'll like Brand Highway isn't, my understanding, Brand Highway is a part of the state route, but Albany Highway down to like Albany and Esperance and all that is not. So, for example, the Kwinana Freeway in WA is not actually a part of the national route system. It's purely 100% state. So, if it's a blue number, it's state. If it's a white number, it's national.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, the states can also go, you know what, we're doing this major road infrastructure upgrade. Give us some money as well, and generally the federal government will chip in as well.
Okay.
But it's there's so many problems with the transportation side of things. Like if you really, really, really wanted to stop trucks and cars involving with each other, you'd have a trucking route and then you'd have an everyone else route. And personally, I think caravans should be on the trucking route as well because they're just a nuisance on the road.
Yep.
Sorry, grey nomads.
The grey nomad.
You are an absolute pain on the road, especially when someone goes to overtaking and you move across so you don't get overtaken. But you don't want stones to chip your brand new caravan. No, you just die. Sorry.
My parents had this camper van, one of those Winnebago type ones, and they literally had a sticker on the side of it called the Le Escargot because it was like basically it was 80 k's an hour. Wherever you want to go, it's 80 k's an hour. And Dad used to do the right thing and pull over really quite often so that he could allow people to come past. But the frustration it causes by going too slow, it's unsafe.
Another person's chipped in. I love my Mondays. Thanks to you guys. As a veteran with PTSD, you guys keep me informed as I don't watch the news.
Really appreciate that, mate. Absolutely.
So make sure you like, share. If you've got any questions, chuck them in there. We love interacting with people.
We do.
But
lots of good stuff going on.
The car side of things, since probably November, every second weekend I've been doing a trip up to Geraldton.
Yep.
Obviously with the renovations for Geraldton up there, which are finally over.
Yes.
But it's the amount of idiots on the road due to frustration. And I personally think frustration is the number one killer on the country roads. It's not fatigue.
No.
Because also when you're trying to overtake someone and the roads are windy, there's bugger all overtaking lanes. It's dangerous to overtake, especially at night because you got the headlights coming both ways. It's really hard to judge how far away someone is.
Yep.
And let's say you've got a 2.8 litre naturally aspirated diesel from 1995. You know, the uptake on that thing is not the greatest. Like, you really struggled to get to 110.
Mate, with that car of yours, you've got to actually plan your overtaking maneuvers with a calendar. Okay, that's how slow it is, right?
No, he's not joking there.
Hey, I want to talk about something else that's about frustration.
Just one other thing on that.
Oh, yeah.
How will it also affect the agricultural industry as
well?
Good point. Because you look at, if you get stuck, behind these kind of mining trucks, and you've got to get other industries. There's other industries that have a flow-on effect in terms of the highways. It's just not the mining crew that are using the roads. It's other, and the whole trucking industry, the imports, exports, getting stuck behind these. No.
Oh, look, Australia absolutely relies on trucking more than you could possibly imagine. So, you know what? Go out there, hug a truckie because they are keeping this country moving.
So, for all the greenies out there, we got to protect the animals. So, up north of Australia, we have a lot of cattle stations.
Sure.
And they can't especially when they're going for sale, like when you're exchanging breeding stock. So, they put them into a truck, they ship them to Perth. And then from Perth, they go to whoever buys them.
Okay.
So, can you imagine instead of having a truck going, 90 k's an hour, and having the animals in the blistering sun in a truck crammed in their sardines for say 10 hours, would you rather that be 25 hours?
Wow, that's a really good point, actually.